and character and strength.
Anyway, here's Robert for you.
Hey, Carl, how are you?
Hey, Robert, how you doing? Long time no chat.
Good to talk to you.
So, what was I see you met with the Vikings today, you know, into the Grand Rebbe's grave, so, and talk about that while you're doing it.
Well, we did a podcast. I did Dove's podcast, and we talked about Israel. We talked about the departure of the Democratic Party from its traditions of support for freedom of speech, its anti-war policies, and most of all, its departure from its long support for Israel. And one of the things that I hope to do during my campaign is to make the moral case for Israel to Americans and to recall the Democratic Party back to its roots that my father and my uncle stood for, as strong, and FDR and Truman and all the other Democrats who have been rocks of Gibraltar when it came to protecting the only democracy in the Mideast.
Okay, you say talking about going back to Truman, FDR, your dad and your uncle, staunch Israel supporters.
Yeah, and my uncle Teddy was the architect of the exodus of Soviet Jewry from the Soviet Union to the United States and Israel during the 80s. My father was in Israel at the time he was fighting for its independence, supporting them, writing about them for the Boston Herald, writing about that. My uncle, President Kennedy, was a strong supporter for Israel, and it's been part of the DNA of the Democratic Party. So, reason that reading the President that is one of the worst outcomes of woke culture.
That's one of the worst outcomes of okay. Why is that? Why do you think they turned on Israel? Or they be more pro, more sympathizing to the Palestinian cause?
I think it's a false narrative. It's, people have created a narrative of Israel as an occupying nation, oppressing indigenous Palestinians, and it's not, and it memory holds all of the history, exactly how we ended up where we are, where Israel is today. Israel is a shining star of human rights and democracy in the Mideast. If you're 2 weeks ago there was a gay rights parade, gay pride parade with 150,000 people in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. At the same time, Iran was hanging gays from cherry pickers in the city squares. If you're a woman, if you care about freedom of religion, Israel is the only state where you can practice that in the Mideast. There are Palestinians serving in the Israel legislature. There are Palestinians in the judiciary. Meanwhile, the Palestinian state is a kleptocracy that tortures people, that imprisons them, that does not have a functioning judiciary. The Israeli judiciary is the best in the world. It's the only judiciary that forbids torture in a ticking time bomb scenario. We don't even do that here in our country.
As far as torture?
In a ticking time bomb scenario. So they've specifically addressed if there's a terrorist who knows where there's a bomb, it's going to kill civilians, you still cannot torture him, even if it would save civilian lives. There's no legislature in the world that does that has held that. And
so you support these judicial reforms that it's causing big stir over there. You're okay with those changes?
No, I've been a critic of those. Israel's a democracy, and it's not perfect any more than we are. But I'm very proud of the Israeli judiciary. It is the most independent and humane judiciary in the world, and it gives its absolutely equitable rights to both Palestinians and Jews. There are Palestinians on the judiciary, and I'm very, very proud of that. And I don't, I'm not a supporter of these reforms. And I think you can criticize Israel without being an anti-Semite, but the difference is if you apply a different standard to Israel than you do to the countries around it. And that's where people, I think, get in trouble.
Okay. So you're saying they're pro, they're pro-speech, whatever, free speech, they're pro-rights.
Free speech, women's rights, gay rights, the rights of Palestinians. If you're a Palestinian, you want to criticize your government. The only country in the Mideast where you can do that, and I include in the West Bank and Gaza, the only place in the Mideast where a Palestinian can safely criticize their government is in Israel.
Okay.
And for freedom of religion, it's the only country in the Mideast where you have complete freedom of religion. That is anti-Semitism because it's applying guidelines to Israel that did while ignoring the real oppression, the cruelty, the injustices that are happening that are de rigueur in all the surrounding areas.